Hello developers, welcome to Django code series. In the previous video, we have set up the environment which is required for the Django, and we have installed the Django, and we have verified the installation of the Django as well. But in this video, we are going to create our very first project in Django. So in this video, I'm going to create a project in the Django, and we will be exploring what are the default files which are created by the Django framework once you create a Django project. And finally, we will be executing this Django project which we are going to create, and we'll be seeing the output of this web application in a browser. So without wasting the time, let's jump into the video. Here is the folder where we have created our virtual environment venv. So where we have installed our Django. So let me open the command prompt here. And as a first step, let's activate this virtual environment. venv scripts activate. So once our virtual environment is activated, we are going to make use of the Django command utility to create the Django project. Okay. So if you type in Django-admin, you'll be enabling the Django command utility to perform the couple of operations. So these are the list of the command utilities you can perform with the Django. Okay. And here we are going to make use of this start project to create a project in the Django. Okay. Let's clear the screen and type in Django-admin start project. And the next word should be the name of your project. Here I am going to name our project as Kothayat project. Okay. And I am pressing enter. So once I press enter, you could be able to see a new folder created with the name of our project, Kothayat project. Inside this folder, there is a file called manage.py, and there is a subfolder with the project name again, Kothayat project. Okay. Let me open my favorite code editor, Visual Studio, and I'll go through all the files in this project. Okay. Before opening that, I'm just coming back to the Kothayat project. Here, Kothayat project. I'm just moving this venv virtual environment folder which I have created to the project folder. Okay. And here, going to open the command prompt, and I'm going to type in code period, and it will open the Visual Studio by default. So here is a Django project folder, Kothayat project. Inside of it, we have another subfolder with the same name, Kothayat project. And inside of it, we will be having the couple of Python files which are created by the Django framework. And venv, which is nothing but the virtual environment which we have created earlier. Okay. And the next one is manage.py file, which is available at the project root folder, and which will be used for the command line utility for the administrative tasks in the Django. Okay, that's the advantage of the manage.py file. And inside of this Kothayat project subfolder, we have the list of Python files, right? So let's have a look at them. The first one is the init file, which is an empty file which tells to the Python that it is a Python package folder. Okay, and the next one is the ASJ and WSJ. So these two will be used to make the changes in the hosting sites. Okay, which we are not going to make any changes in the development environment. Okay, and the next one is a settings file. As the name says, it will be holding the entire Django project settings. Okay, and base directory path and security key, which is a unique key for each and every Django project. And the next setting is debug mode. Okay, by default it will be option set to true. And the next one is the allowed hosts. This section will be used when we are hosting this website in the production with the list of the IP addresses. And the next one is the apps section. By default, Django will install these apps in each and every Django project. Okay. And the next section is middleware and root URL conference. And here is the template section, which will be used for the HTML, CSS, JavaScript folders. Okay. And the next one is the database section. This section we are going to make changes when we are connecting to the database. Okay, and the authentication, password validators, and language, code, time zone, you can make all this kind of settings in the settings file. Okay, next is URLs file. So this URLs file will be used to configure the URLs in the Django. Okay, every website will be having a different types of URLs, right? Like different pages, and contact page will be having a contact URL, and about us page will have a about us URL, right? So to configure different kinds of URLs in the project, so we are going to make use of this URLs file. Okay, so these are the default files which will be created by the Django framework once you create a Django project. Now it's time to execute the Django project. So to execute the Django project, we have to make use of the Django command utility to execute the project. Okay, for that one, we have to open the command prompt, right? So instead of opening the command prompt or the windows, what we are going to use, we are going to use the option in the Visual Studio, which is nothing but the terminal. Okay, when you open a new terminal, it will open a command utility for you. Okay, and if you see here, by default, your virtual environment is activated. Okay, you don't have to explicitly type in activate command to activate the virtual environment. By default, it will be activated for you. Okay, now let's type in the command to execute the Django project. And before typing the command, we are in the Django codes, so we have to get into this project folder first. Okay, cd kotta ed project. So once we enter into the project folder, now type in python manage.py run server. Okay, we are running the Python file, which is nothing but the manage.py file, which gives us the command line utility for the Django. And the next command is run server. If you press enter, if you see here it is giving an IP address. Just copy this IP address and open the default browser in your system. Okay, and paste that IP address here. And once you press enter, you'll be able to see this Django static page. Okay, which says the install worked successfully. Congratulations. So we have successfully installed the Django in our system, and we have successfully created a Django project. Okay, and if you see here, the IP address says that IP address with the port number 8000. Okay, if I coming back to the command line Visual Studio, if you want to exit, okay, if you want to close this running server, you just have to press Ctrl C. Okay, see here, you have stopped the Django project running, and if you reload it, it will not show anything. Okay, again, let me clear the screen and type in python manage.py. Let's come here and let's reload it. So by default, Django shows this page. Okay, and we can make little bit of changes as well here and there. One of it is like, so we have the by default port is 8000, right? You can change that port. Okay, for that one, what you have to do is python manage.py run server. You can pass the port number. Okay, 8080. I'm just passing the 8080. Here it is showing 8000, right? I'm just changing it to 8080, and I'm press enter. And if I reload this one, it will not show anything to you because the port number has been changed to 8080. If I press enter, you'll be able to see the Django. So this is the process to create the Django project and executing it. And in the coming video, I'm going to make our very first one Django application. So stay tuned for our channel.